One, 1, 2. Check me out right here, yo.
Welcome to O.D.Y Picks, where we are here to pick against the spread for this year's NFL season. I am so excited for some NFL action, and we are only a few days away. In this video, I will be making some picks for the season opener and for the 2 Monday night games. And in a separate video, I'm going to make some picks for the 1 o'clock games. And then in another video, I'm going to do the 4 o'clock games and that 1 Sunday night game. So also, I'm not an expert here. So if you guys get mad at, who I'm picking, if you guys take some of my picks, don't get mad at me. Just please leave me a comment down below. So also like, subscribe. There's going to be more daily content, more breaking NFL news, and more picks weekly throughout the year as well. So further ado, let's start with week number 1. Let's get to it. All right, so we have the Houston Texans on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Chiefs are 9.5-point favorites. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. I do not like what Bill O'Brien, the GM, has done with the Houston Texans. I mean, we already know he done traded his best receiver, arguably top 3 receiver in the game, away for nothing. I mean, for a running back who hasn't been good since 2016 in the bloated contract as well. I mean, they still got Deshaun Watson, and I mean, you guys saw that money that he just made. Arguably, he deserved that type of money. But I mean, who they have? They have Will Fuller, which, he can never stay healthy, and they have Brandon Cooks. I mean, honestly, he only knows about one route. But what else can we say about the Kansas City Chiefs? I mean, we got Patrick Mahomes. He's the best quarterback in the game. You got Andy Reid. You already know he's concocting and making up all type of new plays during this offseason. And honestly, what else I do like too is the fact that Kansas City is only one of few teams that said they're going to allow fans at their season opener. So it's going to be about 20 to 25%. So I mean, in all honesty, instead of fake noise, have actually real fans, provide a little bit of juice to some of these players. So, they're going to celebrate about, their first Super Bowl victory in like 50 years. So in all honesty, I don't like big spreads. But for this case here, I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs for the 9.5. Knowing myself, I may buy down a little bit of points, but I'm going to ride out with the 9.5 points. And wow, look at this total, 54.5. That's actually pretty high. I mean, last year they scored a lot of points. We already know Kansas City could just score at any given moment. But lack of an off season this year, no training camp, obviously due to the pandemic. No OTAs, virtual OTAs. I think I'm going to go with the under here. I mean, I really want to go with the over, but I'm going to go with the under. Next game here on Monday night, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road against the New York Giants. Now, the Steelers is actually 5-point favorites on the road. Earlier this week, I'm going to be honest with you guys, them guys was 3.5-point favorites earlier. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers lost me a lot of money over the years as road favorites. I mean, it seemed as if they always like to play down to their competition. But I mean, Big Ben, he's coming back from an injury. Last year, their defense was really great, and they had like some of the worst quarterback play all of last season. I mean, it was terrible. Okay, you had Duck. I mean, you had the other guy that got punched in his head. I can't remember his name, but it was god awful. And they still had issues at running back. Now the New York Giants, they have a new head coach. Like I said previously, no offseason basically. You got a new coach. And wasn't he was the wide receiver coach for the New England Patriots? And last year they were the worst wide receiving core. So honestly, I don't know how he even got selected for that job. But hey, who knows? I like Jason Garrett though as the offensive coordinator. But like I said, new playbook, new coach, an offseason where it seemed as if you have the same system, some consistency, it works out. I think I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers with the 5 points here. I mean, hopefully Big Ben, we all know his work ethic isn't really all that good, but that defense that's surrounded around him, I think it's going to get the job done. And will Juju Smith-Schuster prove that he's the number 1 receiver? I told people last year, he's no number 1 receiver. He's obviously a good number 2, but he's no number 1 receiver. And also, too, here at the total, we got 47.5. Now, I'm going to go with the under in this one. I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game at all. I don't think the Giants have enough firepower. I mean, you got Saquon Barkley, you got Darnell Jones. I mean, they got a decent tight end. I can't even think of his name. I think it's Brandon Ingram. But other than that, who else they have? I mean, I honestly think this is probably going to be a low scoring game because of that defense is going to shut down Daniel Jones. And now we have the Tennessee Titans at the Denver Broncos here. Now, the Denver Broncos are actually 1-point favorites. I mean, to open up the line, it was actually 2.5-point favorites. So it seemed like Vegas is hammering them boys down. Honestly, I'm going to take the Denver Broncos as well. Number one, they're at home. You know, that high altitude. I mean, you got two great running backs. You got Phillip, and you got also Melvin Gordon, which I love. I mean, I think he was definitely tried last year with the Chargers. But he's a great back, you know, as long as he stays healthy. I do like Drew Lock. I need to see a little bit more of him, but I think this is going to be the year that, you know, he's going to surprise a few people. Now, Tennessee, we all know what they did last year. But honestly, I think last year was much more of a fluke. It was more Derrick Henry than Ryan Tannehill. And honestly, I would have not signed Ryan Tannehill to all that money. But they did. I think they overpaid for him. But that's really about half the quarterbacks in the NFL as of right now. They're getting overpaid. But we don't see about Derrick Henry. I think he could carry the load here. But I'm going to go with Denver. Denver's defense, they're pretty solid. They got a great head coach. You all know he was the defensive coordinator for the last couple of years for the Chicago Bears. So, you know, Vic, he's going to do pretty good, I think. That defense was playing really, really good last year down the stretch. So I'm going to ride out with the Denver Broncos here. Now, the total at 41, surprisingly, I'm going to lean a little bit more towards the over in this one here. I think it's going to be a little bit of points here. I mean, I could be wrong here because, like I said, Tennessee like to ground and pound. They like to eat up that clock. So I could be wrong here. But I'm going to go with the over in this one here. Like I said, you guys, those are my picks for these first 3 games of the NFL season. Please like and subscribe. And there's going to be plenty more videos to come soon.